The wait is finally over, and Outlander's final season has arrived with the kind of gut-punch opening that reminds you exactly why this show has held audiences captive for nearly a decade. Season 8 wastes no time pulling viewers back into the world of Claire and Jamie Fraser, and the premiere episode delivers on almost every promise that 7 seasons have been quietly building toward. From the cold open set in Savannah, Georgia, to a devastating revelation that no fan saw coming, the show's final chapter has arrived swinging, and it is not letting go. The episode opens on Claire, played by Caitriona Balfe, dressed as a maid, standing silently behind a smuggler as Jamie, played by Heughan, presses the man for information about a debt paid with 2 young girls instead of money. The scene is a masterclass in slow tension, as Jamie methodically extracts every detail of how the man boarded a ship, slit a captain's throat, and threw the captain's wife overboard for fighting back. Claire stands just out of the smuggler's sightline and then drives a knife into his back. When he doesn't die fast enough, she stabs him again. Then she curses herself for not making it worse. The cold open snaps into focus when Claire and Jamie return to their room. The 2 girls, Jane and her younger sister Fanny, played by Sylvia Presente and Florrie Mae Wilkinson respectively, are revealed to be the daughters of the woman thrown overboard, a woman who, in one of the most shocking reveals the show has ever produced, was none other than Faith Fraser. The daughter Claire and Jamie believe died at birth. Someone took that child from them decades ago, and Faith grew up without ever knowing who she truly was, loving a husband and raising 2 daughters of her own. The weight of that truth hits Claire like a wave with no warning. Jamie steadies her, as he always has. He tells her that home might be wherever you find it, and that Faith found her home with her captain. Now they have Jane and Fanny, their granddaughters, to love. It is a tender, quietly shattering moment, and then it is interrupted by the sound of children giggling in the hallway. When Jamie opens the door, a small army of kids scatters down the corridor, and Marsali, played by Lauren Lyle, calls after them to let the grandparents sleep. Right on cue, Fergus, played by Cesar Domboy, appears on screen, and the fan base collectively exhales. He is running a print shop in Savannah, carefully maintaining a neutral, even complimentary, public stance toward the British Army. Jamie takes one look at the operation, taps a few boards, hears a hollow sound, and finds rebel pamphlets hidden behind a secret door. Fergus reminds his foster father that he is doing exactly what Jamie once did. Jamie fires back that what Fergus is doing now is far more dangerous. Fergus smiles and says that means the work is more vital. The pen, he adds, is mightier than the sword. Meanwhile, across town, William, played by Charles Vandervaart, is found drunk and brawling with rebels before being dumped onto Lord John Grey's red velvet fainting couch by a redcoat soldier who needs confirmation that this dishevelled man is actually the 9th Earl of Ellesmere. Lord John, played by David Berry, vouches for him while bouncing a teething baby in his arms. The baby is Trevor Grey, the son of Benjamin Grey, John's nephew and William's cousin. The reunion turns cold when John reveals that Ben was taken prisoner and died of jail fever. William demands answers about who the baby's mother is, insisting that if Ben had married, he would have known. That is the precise moment Amaranthus Grey, played by Carla Woodcock, walks through the door and makes her opinion of drunken fools perfectly clear. By the time William sobers up enough to apologize to Lady Grey, something has shifted in him. He finds her outside with little Trevor and vows to do right by both of them. Whether guilt over Jane's fate is driving him, or something more, William's trajectory this season is already one of the most compelling threads on the board. Back at Fraser's Ridge, Claire, Jamie, and Fanny are reunited with Ian, played by John Bell, at the site of the old homestead. Now burned to the ground, Ian leads them by covered wagon to a new house built high on the ridge, where a very pregnant Rachel, played by Izzy Makel Small, welcomes them inside. The house has large windows, a fireplace, a dedicated room for Claire's medical practice, and even a room for Fanny, a home built for the future. The ridge has also grown during the Frasers' absence. A man named Mr. Crombie, played by Anthony Byrne, has set himself up as a supplier, and his business partner, Captain Charles Cunningham, played by Kieran Bew, has settled on Fraser land with his mother after laying down his sword following service in His Majesty's army. Jamie shakes the man's hand and forces a smile, but knowing that Cunningham fought against him at Saratoga does not sit well, and the camera makes certain viewers notice. Then Brianna, Roger, Jemmy, and Mandy arrive in the 1700s, and the family is whole again nearly. Bree hands out housewarming gifts pulled from the future. A children's book, a copy of Lord of the Rings for Jamie, and a medical journal for Claire. Already a risky move, but later, after the children are asleep, Bree produces one more book. It is called Soul of a Rebel, a history of Scottish roots in the American Revolution, written by Frank Randall. Jamie flips to the author photo on the book jacket and goes very still. Frank's face, Black Jack's face, the same face that haunted his worst memories. He demands to know whether Frank was an honest man, whether his research could be trusted. Claire assures him Frank was a scholar who never published anything untrue. Jamie tells her why it matters. His name appears 14 times in the book, and one passage in particular states that within a year, Jamie Fraser will die at the Battle of King's Mountain. The episode closes on that question hanging in the air like smoke. The newly released trailer for Episode 2, titled Tragedy Shakes the Ridge, makes one thing unmistakably clear: the fragile peace that settled over Fraser's Ridge in the premiere is already fracturing at its edges. Multiple storylines are converging at once, and not all of them will end without loss. The trailer opens on Jamie, still shaken by what he read in Frank Randall's book. He turns the passage over in his mind, questioning whether the account means he is destined to fight at the Battle of King's Mountain or whether there is still room to change what is written. Claire's response is measured and deliberately unclear. "Maybe you don't," she tells him, leaving the door open on a question that will haunt the rest of the season. It is the kind of answer that offers no comfort and no certainty, only the weight of possibility. Jamie, who swore after nearly losing everything at Saratoga that he was done with war, now finds history circling back to claim him whether he is ready or not. Captain Charles Cunningham remains a source of growing unease. Despite his insistence that he has set down his sword for good, Jamie receives a warning from an unnamed source, someone who knows Cunningham's history well enough to say plainly that the man is a danger and that Jamie would be wise to act before that danger makes itself known. The two men fought on opposite sides of a brutal war, and whatever civil surface their neighborly arrangement has built, the trailer suggests it will not hold much longer. The most emotionally devastating thread teased in the trailer belongs to Rachel and Ian. Rachel is shown in severe pain, and the urgency in Brianna and Claire's faces as they rush her into surgery carries a dread that needs no explanation. The implication is devastating that Rachel and Ian may lose their unborn child, the baby the entire Ridge has been quietly celebrating since the moment Claire and Jamie arrived home. If that loss comes, it will not stay contained to one couple. It will move through every person on that ridge like a current. Beyond those central threads, the trailer offers glimpses of what else is pressing in from all sides. Brianna and Jamie find themselves face to face with a bear deep in the woods, a moment that is equal parts terrifying and strangely fitting for two people who have never stopped fighting their way through whatever the world puts in front of them. An injured stranger is brought to Claire's door, adding yet another unknown variable to an already volatile landscape. And William, still adrift in his grief and guilt, is seen standing at a grave almost certainly the burial site of his cousin Benjamin, the cousin whose death he received as news rather than witnessed, and whose absence he is only now beginning to truly grieve. The final season of Outlander is building its world carefully and charging at its ending fast. The question is not whether hearts will break before it is over. The question is how many times, and who will be left standing when the smoke clears. What do you think Jamie's fate truly holds? Will history follow its course, or will Claire find a way to change it? Drop your theories in the comments below, hit that like button if Outlander still owns your soul after 8 seasons, and subscribe so you never miss a recap as this final ride comes to its end.